Alright, hi guys! So I have an update for you guys. I did not have a second video ready for this week. I've been trying to be a week ahead, but the way everything went last week, I kind of let it go, and then, you know, this week has been very busy. So I'm going to let you guys know what's going on, and then I think I'm going to take next week off from posting anything and then just restart the following week, and I'll let you know why right now. So last week was the boys' first week of school. They started school September 8th. They did virtual, and when I tell you it was horrible, that's the nicest clean word I can use. It was really that bad, to the point where both boys were sobbing uncontrollably under their desks, like just wanted nothing to do with it. And I really don't blame them. My Jeffrey's teacher, I'm sure he meant well, but he was not good. I don't know if he just hasn't dealt with special needs as much as he said he does, because he was not doing anything to keep these children engaged. He was not giving breaks. He was getting upset if they needed to take breaks, because in my case, Jeffrey was melting down like it was nobody's business. It also was to the point where I was really upset with the fact that the people in charge of virtual did not tell us exactly what was going to happen. They had a Zoom meeting, I think it was like 2 weeks before school started, and it was all about exactly what the schedule was going to look like, because every class was going to have the same schedule. So they were going to have the same breaks, they were going to have the same lunch and resets, so that if you had a child in any grade, they were all doing virtual, they would all have the same breaks, which would make life easier. That's not what happened at all. Not only that, Jeffrey's class, who should have had more scheduled breaks, which we were told they would because kids with special needs need more breaks because they just have a short attention span, unfortunately. They had less than Robert, who was in first grade. His teacher really was not keeping them engaged. His slideshows were boring me. And not only that, I literally had to sit next to him because the teacher was expecting them to navigate the web and log into all these things, and was not, and because he wanted the kids to all have headphones on to keep the background noise out, which I totally understood, even though they were muted. We then didn't know what the heck was going on. So then you had 15 parents trying to figure out what is going on, and then we're having to ask the teacher, and he's having to repeat himself all these times. It's taking up a chunk of time. When I tell you, it was bad. I understand it was a learning curve, so we're like, okay. First day went bad. I was not happy. At lunchtime, I called my friend who is homeschooling this year and asked for the association that they're associated with, because in our state you have to be under an association to homeschool, which is fine. They're like, it's the legality of it. Apparently the association like has all the legal stuff if we need it. You know, they help you get into a co-op, all that fun stuff. It's through them, so you pay a fee for a year. So I called her and asked her, and I was venting to her, and she was trying to make me feel better, and she felt so bad. So we're like, okay, we kind of slept. Now, mind you, up until this point, I don't think I slept for like 2 weeks. I was so nervous and feeling like I had made the wrong decision by doing virtual. Now, mind you, in person was not an option. I will leave you that video down below on why we didn't go with that. Tuesday came around. Just as bad as Wednesday came around. Sorry, we started on a Tuesday. Wednesday came around. It was just as bad. By 10:30, I was emailing associations to see if they had openings, because in our state, the associations can only have so many families, and I was finding that a lot of them were not enrolling for this year right now because they were full. So I did find one. I contacted her, and within 1 hour of contacting her, I had signed up and paid the fee. And like I said, I think it was 1 hour and 2 minutes, I had all the paperwork I needed to unenroll my children. So by 12:30, I had all this I think it was 12:30 when I started the paperwork. At 1:30 was when Jeffrey started back. I got him situated in what he was supposed to be doing. Again, navigating to another website and doing all this crap, which we won't even go there. I get him all situated so I could finish what I needed to do with the homeschooling. to get it all finished because I was done. I had also contacted the director of the virtual academy and expressed my concerns and who I needed to talk to because I wanted to know exactly what information I needed to take when I unenrolled them because this wasn't happening. So I get Jeffrey all set up. Now, the teacher never informed us, or if he did, it was before we all realized that we needed to do something yet again in the class, that he was only supposed to do 3 of these little videos and the questions afterwards. I think there was like 8 to 10 questions afterwards. Mind you, these videos were 3 to 4 minutes long. So I guess they were only supposed to do 3. He gave them 45 minutes to do this. You do the math. Within 20 minutes, Jeffrey had done 6 and answered all the questions correctly. He was getting 100% on everyone. I never heard the 3. I got an email from his teacher telling me to stop Jeffrey because he was going too far ahead. And I'm like, well, now what's he going to do with all this free time? He's like, oh, well, he has to sit there on the Zoom call. Wow, that's cool. So he's going to have to sit here for like, what, another 25 minutes until you're done? So I get that email. I get the email from the homeschool group. Everything's all situated. She said, take this all to the school. I'm waiting to hear back from the person from the district who is our school district who's in charge of the homeschool, because my question was, how long do I, once I get the paperwork, when can I unenroll them? Like, when can their last day be? As I'm waiting for this, Jeffrey's still on his Zoom call. Now I'm letting him play in front of the computer because I know this is, I'm letting him do whatever because I'm like, we're done. As long as she says is once you bring the paperwork in, I was going in the following morning anyways. Yeah, I get the email saying you can be done, once you bring the paperwork in. So I was like, okay, in the morning. Awesome. So that means their last day was the day we were in. Robert was done for the day because they were taking the afternoons to just regroup, which was what it was supposed to be for the first 2 weeks. Jeffrey's was still going. We're now sitting there on the Zoom call. All the kids are done. Teacher vanishes. It's about 10 minutes he's been gone. There's now 10 minutes till class is over. And I'm like, I'm done. I literally signed off. I sent him an email letting him know what I was doing and that we were homeschooling. I also let Robert's teacher know. And I cannot tell you the amount of relief I felt doing this. It was, when I tell you it was bad, it was bad. I was really, really upset. I was so sorry to my kids that I signed them up for this. It was bad. It was really bad. They are much better now. We are a couple of days into homeschooling. It's still an adjustment. The first day it was more, just working out the kinks, figuring out what we needed to do, getting into a routine, and it's going to be different every day. The next day, right now it's more feeling out because we're still in the first week. It's going to take a while for us to find our groove, find what time works best for us, what works best for each child. And like I said, my oldest has autism, so it's finding out what works best for him too. Because I know they modified for him in class when he was obviously in person. And so I need to find out what works for him. I actually may contact his teacher from last year. I do have her information still. I may contact her and ask her what she did, because the teachers have been very helpful. Robert's teacher completely understood where I was coming from. She understood, and she was not happy with the rules that she was given either. So she's also a virtual parent, so she also was not happy. So she felt for me. But I must say, everybody's mood has been better. We're all sleeping better. The boys are sleeping better too. Not only am I, but the boys are sleeping better. My husband and I have just been, the amount of stress has been lifted so much. I can't even believe it. But the boys are really enjoying it. They like the fact that they can pick what they want to learn. There was something today we were doing. We were learning about the states. We were looking at a map and we were figuring out where each state was. So I was giving them a state name and showing them the name, and then they had to go find it on the map, and they thought it was really cool. And Robert was like, oh, can we do it this way? And he wanted to do it this way. So I'm like, yeah, sure, we can. Like, even though it was a little different than what I was doing, but it's like, if that's going to keep him engaged more, then why not? Like, I didn't really, as long as we're learning the lesson, it doesn't matter. And it kind of got to me that I'm like, I can make this however I want. Whatever works for us, however we want to do it, we're learning. It doesn't matter. It's finding out what works best for every subject and for every child. So that's where we're kind of at. So that's why I've been I've been a little MIA. If you saw, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen that. Yeah, we did homeschool, but that's why I've been kind of MIA. So like I said, this video is going to come up on Thursday, and then I'm going to take next week off and just regroup and have us all kind of, get into the group, and then I'll start posting twice a week again. I usually do like Tuesdays and Thursdays, I believe I'm posting. Yeah. So I'm going to continue that. It's just I'm going to take a break, let us get into the groove, and then, be back to normal. It is really nice. The other thing is, when you're homeschooling, it's only a few hours a day. For my kids' grades, because they're second grade and first grade, it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours a day they should be homeschooling. And, we're averaging that. Sometimes it's a little more. We had one day that was a little less. I think we were like right at the hour and a half part, but it was like, you kind of gotta, you're gonna have days like that. And then you're gonna have days that it's gonna take longer. So we're just getting into the groove. So Mia's pushing me away from the camera right now. So I'm gonna take a little break, and we're gonna get into the swing of things, and then we'll be back. But I will have a lot more videos coming out. I want to show you kind of our routine, what curriculum we're using, and what we're doing in that respect, and what's working best for each child. So, and it's also trying to get her involved. And I am so grateful my mom was here last week while we were doing virtual learning, because I would not have been able to do the virtual learning and take care of Mia, because I literally had to sit with Jeffrey on the computer and help Robert too. So it was like, how would I have taken care of her? I think I would have been in the fetal position by 9 a.m. on that first day. So I'm very grateful my mom came up and stayed and played with Miss Mia. Huh? Did Nana come and play with you? Yeah, did she play with my Mia? Huh? You're getting tired though. Should we go cuddle on the couch? Yeah, you're tired. All right, so I'm gonna go get this little lady some lovies before bed. But that's where we are. Like I said, I'm gonna take the week off, and then we'll be back and hopefully keep this good routine going.